Hey, this is Brother D.
And I'm Sister Ray.
It is a wonderful night in Philadelphia. We hope you guys are enjoying it. Praise Louis Radio Show 92.9 FM. Beautiful night. We have some awesome guests on with us tonight. These two right here, they escaped us last time, but we got them back. Praise the Lord. They have graced the stage with Tracy Ellis Ross. They who else is in here? Mary J. Blige, LL Cool J, Janelle Monáe, and yes, the one and only Queen Bee, Beyonce. It's Kiva Baby and my baby man Ed. How y'all doing?
Good. How you doing?
How are you?
We great, man. We great. We're so thankful that you guys are coming on with us tonight. We we watch you guys on TikTok. We love what you do. We think that we thank the Lord for what you do. One night I was just watching you guys, and then I started to hear you was talking about the Lord, how God was guiding you and everything. I said, "Oh my God!" I said, "They believe us." I was like, "That's what's up." So we had to have you. But can you tell us a little? Each of you can tell us about something about yourself.
Sure. So my name is Mekeda, friends, and now the world calls me Kita Baby. It's a nickname from my uncle growing up. I'm Caribbean American heritage, first generation born in America. And as far as my career, I started off as an engineer, went to Georgia Tech. And from there, I left my job and pursued a career as a professional. So through dance, I eventually met Eddie through his cousin, and now we just do our own thing.
Wow. All right, Ed, come on now.
All right, so my name is Eddie Espers, formerly known as that, but I'm also really known as wow, I came from the background of just dancing at home. My first time seeing dance and experiencing dance was through the movie Breaking. I don't know if anybody know anything about that.
You're too young to know about Breaking, man.
Hey, I was sitting there and watching the movie, playing it back. I was that kid, sitting in front of the TV, playing it back to back on a cassette tape. If anybody's VHS situation. Yeah. So I started off as that, self-taught pretty much. And then later on in life, I wanted to pursue dance as an actual career. So by the time I was 13, I got a chance to get my first performance experience opening up for Ludacris, Missy Elliott, George, stuff like that. So it just started me off from there, and I got a taste of being on stage. And now where I'm at in my career, pursuing where I'm at, is because of being on So You Can Dance. It gave me a platform and opportunity to move back to California, because at the time I was living in Dallas, Texas, just working a regular 9-to-5 job. I auditioned in a local city in Texas, made it on the show, finally moved out here and started pursuing my career from there. And I met my beautiful fiance along the way, because she's close to my closest cousin.
Oh. Wow, man, y'all done summed it all up. I don't care. I'm gonna take it step by step. I'm gonna go back now. You gotta let me know how this happened, because you guys brush by names like they're nothing. Oh yeah, I was over here with this one, over here with that one, like it's nothing. And I'm serious. It's sort of like you touch, but like some people only get to go on stage with some people one time in life, and they say, "Remember the time," and they live in that moment, And there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not bashing nobody. Please, no more emails. But what I'm saying is that, how did you guys get so blessed? Because it looked like both of you have a fruitful past, and now you're together. You get what I'm saying? I guess you guys are like Beyonce and Hov, right? So how do you guys manage that? Is it any ego involved? I mean, how does it? How do you guys mesh? What makes it all work?
So you're asking as far as the experiences that we've had and how we've been able to receive those experiences?
Yeah, how you can receive them, and not only that, but sometimes when you are on a move like that and you have a fruitful resume, sometimes it's hard to mesh or slow down and say, okay, we're walking together now. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yes. Not
to heaven.
I mean, I think like, you know, with anything for us, like we both came in knowing each other's like background and knowing what goals we both have. So I know for both of us, like we both really enjoyed touring, and Eddie toured with Pharrell. I toured with Mary J. Blige. So I think being connected to the artistry and being just as connected with each other's goals is something that allowed us to be able to make compromise to like mesh within both of our careers, being sometimes on two different paths. The career and the lifestyle that we live in. It's definitely challenging, definitely not easy, but I think because we both live a life of passion and we know what it feels like to want to accomplish the things that we really set our mind to, it makes it easier for us to relate and support one another and know like the importance of that within our relationship too.
Well, that sounds so nice and educated. See, but I want to know. I want to get down to the black stuff. You know what I'm saying? What makes it work? You know what I mean? You use my Afro sheen. I need my Dixie piece. I mean, you know what I mean? Get down to the real stuff. But no, I just love you guys. Like one of the things that really attracted me to you guys was the fact that your connection when you dance, how you always smile, you always keep on point. It's never like a bad moment. Like I never seen like, oops, man, I know we can like go back and re-record, but you guys are always so on point. Did you guys take dancing like growing up? Is it something that you or is it like street, or is it how did you come to this point where you are to be so professional and so polished?
It was a mixture of both. I want to touch on something before answering this question as well too, so I can give you kind of like my perspective because it's two different people, right? Like it's two different walks of life. You come together and you are life partners together. So like within my perspective of how everything happened, we were already on the verge of achieving this certain goal. So we had like similar goals that we wanted to achieve, but then it was different paths that we were taking in order for us to get there. Like for her, she was taking classes a lot and stuff before I even came. And for me, I've taken class, but not really. I've been used to like battling and stuff like that. So by the time I got here, she was already well affiliated with, which choreographers work with, been around for a long time. And for me, I had the talent, but didn't have a lot of the information because I was, this was so brand new for me. She put me up on game as far as in like who was who, what classes to take, who's an OG choreographer, who was what. And then along the way, I started working with these people that she would talk about. And then we would kind of like meet in the middle. So if I got put on the job, I would say, hey, yeah, I do know someone. Or they're like, hey, we need a girl. I'm like, oh, cool, boom, get on the job. Or he's on the job and they're looking for a guy. Hey, I have, my fiance and, his cousin. And then it just kind of worked out from there. And I think because of the agency that we are signed with as well, too, like we're signed to the same agency, it made it easier. But also, too, we had similar goals to which kind of shows, what kind of live shows or artists that we want to perform with were the same, similar. So it kind of like, it just
worked out.
It worked out. Yeah.
It just happened.
Yeah.
Wow, you guys sit there so passive. Oh yeah, it just happened. I just one day I'm sitting at home. You know what I mean? I'm eating drinking some Alizé, and I know Nikki Parker, right? But anyway, next thing hey, I'm at Coachella. I mean, how did that happen? Because Beyonce, she broke down the whole documentary. Breaking it down where she showed like she pulled everybody in, she's handpicking people one by one. How did that happen for you guys? How did that go down?
Well, we just I think originally, so Eddie was originally part of the Skeleton Group, a group of dancers that they used to get an idea of what the show would look like. Actually hiring the dancers to actually do the show. So Eddie was hired to do skeleton, and then we had like an overlap of 2 rehearsals together, and then he went to do the Bobby Brown story, and then I was in for the actual Coachella. But it was a situation where we auditioned. Like there was a huge audition for Coachella. We didn't know what it was for. I mean, you could probably take a guess if you were to see the choreographer name, but we didn't know what it was for. For myself, I did a solo. I'm a Delta, so I did a solo as a. They wanted Greek, so I literally just had on my Delta jacket from college from Georgia Tech, and created my own solo on the spot. And it's funny because stepping is what I've been doing since I was like in high school. And
Wow.
But I competed heavily stepping in high school. And I remember when Neptune kept telling me, I always used to say, I don't want everyone to see me as a stepper. I want them to see me as a dancer. And when this audition came around, like we were in the park at like 1 a.m. and he was like drilling me in the parking lot. And he was
she was
like,
stressing out. What should I do? Should I do hip
hop? She went sister girl on you.
It's funny because he reminded me, he was like, you know, the one thing that it's like you as a dancer, we all go through this. We're like, if I'm known for one thing, I want to be known for the other thing as well. But we don't want to be categorized. And I think in life, we don't like to be categorized in general. But it just brought me back home to what he was saying. Like, you never know when the main thing that you were gifted with. So like, even just the moment of being in that skit with her for the I'm Sorry section, where I'm like right there to the left, to the right of Beyonce, like I still had to audition for that section too. And mind you, regardless of me stepping at the age of 14, that's a big group of talented women.
Yeah, most definitely.
Coachella. So I definitely had to still like, you know, pull up, even though, you know, I did great in the audition process. But I got to audition literally just from my stepping. And I ended up being the only one to make it through just from stepping. And I don't know if that was an accident or not, but that was a blessing from God.
Yes, that was favor.
Out of that audition, I felt like my life became full circle. Like my going to college and everything I experienced from college came full circle after I finished that Beyonce audition.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now let me tell you. Now I seen your clip with you with Beyonce on stage, and I pulled it. I was looking at your face. I mean, it flashes for like maybe like 3 seconds, and I was like, "She's the happiest girl in the world." I mean, you and your friends was like, "Go Kiva!" I was like, "I see what you look at this," but we did a video. We pulled some of y'all steps. We put together a video. Collage that we got people looking at now of you guys, because I have to let people see what you guys do, because you guys are so hot, man. It's crazy. I mean, go ahead.
Your experience. I mean, he got to be like, I can't say too much, but he got to be in the room with
it was pretty interesting. Like the choreographers already, you know, Jaquel, shout out to him. He was already someone that I was working with previously, and I had to show myself approved. Like I couldn't just pop up and like, oh yeah, I'm Neptune and I was on TV, whatever. Like all that stuff doesn't even matter. Everyone worked jobs, everyone worked, you know, so that stuff really don't matter. It's just, can you come out and produce? Can you come in and do what's being required of you? And so that I had to even still prove myself, and they still gave me hunger. So like, you got a chance to see me on a free job one time, which was great, because I got a chance to step in front of someone that I've been wanting to step in front of for quite some time. And from there, it worked out. Like the next, you know, 2-3 jobs, it's when Beyonce came up, and I just so happened to put in the work on set that people were just like, "Wow, who is this dude? Like, no, let's do a solo with him." Whoever.
Because you remember it was Corbin, our friend. Yeah, right. It was Corbin who had connected us with it, and then I was like, "Well, can he come too, or did she ask?" I don't remember how it happened. But
somehow, they both asked if I can come, so I just came. I was like, "Man, whatever." Then I just went and did my thing, and so like when they brought me in, it was more or less, you know, like you said, skeleton, just building the foundation of the show. Like potentially, like, you know, how people are going to come on and off, like the skits and all of that. And it was really interesting because at the time, it's like you can't really see the full show for what it is until heads of people start to come in. And you're like, oh, like this is what this show looks like, because there's a difference between you playing all like it's 10, 12 guys and maybe 10, 12 girls playing all these different roles than when you have everyone there as a collective. Then it's like you could sit back and really like enjoy some of the show. Which was good. And by the time B came along, it was good that, you know, her energy and stuff like that kind of like heightened more of like what she wanted. So, you know, more what she wanted. And I was just grateful to just be there for that. But even more so grateful to have, you know, the choreographer, Chris Grant and Jaquel Knight, to bring me in. And at some point in time, being able to train in a separate room with her too, just to see how she work and think and to her process. And that was just great, like as a dancer in general, to experience something that's so private that not everybody get a chance to experience. But at the same time, the Bobby Brown movie came up and I was like, hey, all right, y'all, being everybody, I got
You told, wait a minute now, that's like telling Oprah, wait a minute, I hope you use the church finger and say, excuse me, and walk out. How did you make your exit, brother? I mean, how you do it?
I'm not going to lie, that was a really hard choice, but I felt like because where I wanted to go with my career is not only dance, but act as well, too, and be in film. And so this is a great opportunity, and then to work with Fatima Robinson. So like, Jaquel Knight and then Fatima Robinson, but I know I need to make the choice because eventually that could put me through the door. So I made the choice and respectfully talk with, you know, both parties as you're supposed to do instead of just
Amen, bro.
You know, that's how you like keep the playing field for yourself.
And the doors open.
Yep, exactly where it needs. So you can have that respect all across the board. And I was just grateful that God like showed me so much grace to where I can do that. And I was afraid to do it at first, but then once I like just gained the courage, prayed about it, talked with her, like, no, don't do it. I was like, I just feel like God telling me, and I talked with them. And
that's amazing.
Worked with both of them right after that. He booked his first tour back with the other choreographer. I think for both of us, I think what's made it work for us in the industry is that like we remain authentic to ourselves. And you're like, you say we just say it with ease, but it's like we're all humans at the end of the day. The celebrities, the artists, they're all humans as well. And I feel like because we carry that kind of energy, it makes us work more because more anyone that's a celebrity wants just real people around them, you know? So that's something that
and being professional about it.
Right.
Exactly.
Wow, that's beautiful though, man. So you went and worked on Bobby Brown. You went over there, baby. That was actually a good good miniseries, man, that they put together. It was really great, much needed. And you guys working, you know, with African Americans is really great. Who are like, you know, people who we like. My wife and I, we grew up on. We're a little bit older than y'all. We grew up on, you know, Bobby Brown and them. New Edition. Yeah, really great. But let me ask you this: how is it a life of a singer? Is it likened unto an actor? Like, because I hear like, these are actors. They say they struggle, man. They're like they losing weight all the time because they can't eat and all of that. How is it for a dancer? You know what I mean? How is it for I said a singer. I meant to say a dancer. My apologies. How is it for? I know. You know. I went to like regular public school. My wife here, she's in the suburbs, so it's a little different. I'm like, public school, community college. That's here for community. Anyway, so how was it for a life of a dancer? You know, like day to day. I know you guys done. You know. You guys walking on water right now, but like, how is it like normally for a dancer?
Walking on water, not quite yet there.
Not quite there yet, you know. Man? Yeah, right. Whatever.
So, but no, I mean, honestly, I have to be very, very honest. There's that phrase like dancers are at the bottom of the totem pole. So you go to the artist and you're gonna keep going down. Like dancers are not the amount of passion that we have for like what we do. The respect for what we do and the acknowledgement is getting better. It definitely is getting better. But as far as like when you say that artists say like, you know, they have starving nights, they don't eat, like dancers pretty much experience the same thing. Our industry is very populated. And it's not a lot of sometimes it's challenging. Like if you're a dancer and you try to break into the industry, because like once a choreographer has a dancers that they're connected to, they kind of like use the same dance with different artists, right? So like any one big artist is going to say, well, I want that same choreographer that Beyonce has, or I want the same choreographer that you know, another celebrity has, Megan Thee Stallion may have. And so you have dancers that kind of like cross paths. So if you're new, it's like very, very hard to like enter into that. We do a lot of auditioning. And with the audition process, it's just whether, a lot of times it's whether you fit the look, also whether you fit the vibe, and whether you connect with the artist. So when you look at all of those, like the probability of everything, but then also, you know, you follow the Lord and you say, God, bless me with whoever you want me to be in the presence of.
Yeah, that's true.
It can be, you know, it can be very challenging.
Yeah.
Dancers do struggle. We struggle to eat. We can't. Most dancers actually have multiple jobs. There are not many dancers that have like that only have their main source of income just come from dance. So like when I learned a little bit more about other areas to still be independent as an entrepreneur, I learned more about commercial acting. So then I went out and got a commercial agent. Then when Eddie and I started, I got him a commercial agent. Then I got a theatrical agent. So we found that's kind of the trajectory, because dancers also are great in acting, and it's kind of a form of what we already do.
Yeah, it is.
It's almost like a promotion in a sense. Like if you want to go to the next level from dance, it's like you go into acting, just like Woody from the Bobby Brown story. He was originally a dancer. He danced for Chris Brown, and he got his first break in acting through the Bobby Brown film.
Wow.
Same with Brandy Evans, who's on P-Valley. She's one of my sorority sisters. She started out as a dancer for many years.
Okay.
Her breakthrough acting role was that role. So like a lot of dancers don't kind of like stay there unless you go into like teaching and doing like workshops. But it's a very like intimate world that we live in. I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends on what you want to do. Honestly, I'm just gonna depict like where you're at in the basket of dancing, like choreographing, you know, tours, commercial dancing. It just depends on what you want to do. But also too, like it's almost like a luck of the draw thing. Like there's people that's been here for so long and they still haven't gotten that breakthrough yet. You know, they've been 10, 15 years, 20 years, and they still just not being able to be, you know, in that position where they want to be. And sometimes it's not necessarily there's anything wrong with anyone or being a terrible dancer. It's just like God has just blessed certain people in certain areas, and it's something you can't always control. That just like in auditions when you know you go in and there's 15 people in there and they're looking for one person.
Right.
It's like, come on, y'all, like one person, like you can't just expect the job to be meant for everyone. There's something that's going to be meant for you, yes, but also like don't put all your eggs in one basket. So when people most people don't only just background dance by itself. They're like teaching, you know, or some people are like you know,
working
we're getting into commercial. But the thing is, like when you have different things that you love to do, and you live out here in LA, like you can do so many different things, and still as well too. Like like she said, you know, there's friends that dance first and then got into acting, and I got into like commercial work. But it's like that's what they've been working on in the meantime, in between time, instead of just waiting
at the same time.
You know,
right? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Opportunities for yourself, and that's just what it's about. Even dance wise, not just waiting for an audition, but you know, put on social media or go teach a convention if you like teaching. You know, go teach. Like to teach classes. Like there's so many different avenues within dance that it's not just, you know, just this one way that you can, you know, make a name for yourself or make a living for yourself living out here. You just have to be mindful and be open as well too, because if you're not open, it's gonna knock all kind of opportunities for you. Yeah.
Because years that we kind of like, you know, shared that with before, like work on these other things. But I feel like sometimes it's kind of hard when you're a dancer and you're passionate and you really want to do something. You kind of just like stick to what you're already doing. And I'm if it's not really hitting or working yet, it's time to switch something up. And then you never know, something else that's not even related to what you want can get you to what you want.
Okay.
Wow. Well, yeah, God does. He does do that.
Yeah,
Sometimes people
open.
don't understand. Like God say, okay, I want you to go this far with this, and sometimes we don't see that, and we can't enjoy the ride. I'm blessed to be thick, but I know that Eddie jealous because he all ripped and everything. But one day, bro, you may have a 1-pack.
One pack.
I didn't want to experience it no more. I love to eat donuts. I love cakey stuff. I love
For real. Yo, when our kids was little, I said our kids had to throw little donuts in my mouth while I put my head back. It's great, man. Where did you have kids?
That's because they had it. It's called
Anyway, no, but that's cool. I'm glad to see that you guys are like down there. But I kind of knew that you were because basically looking at your lives that you do, Kiva. I was just checking them out, and then when I had checked yours out, then I said I didn't know Ed had a page. I was like, Ed, and then I found out who you were, bro. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, wow, it was just awesome, and I was like, man,
Sorry.
He is the truth, you know what I mean? My wife, she's still here. She just, that's my baby. 28 years of marriage, praise the Lord. Yeah, man. That's my boo. Yeah, but as I said, I found out who you were, man, and I was just like, wow. And I still, it was so funny when I was just looking at all the clips that we were going to use for the collage you put together, you guys. I really want everybody to check it out. You got to check it out. It's on it's on our Facebook page. It's on our website, whatever else. But anyway, I had brought up before you and I, when we was talking before, when you guys are all in black coming down, man. I was like, man, I said, I wonder if Ed would be willing to come to Philly and let me get in on that joint. Y'all can put me in the back. I get in the front, man. I didn't make this some head work. You know what I mean?
We just go.
Exactly. Just give me a neck up shot. You know what I mean? That'd be like neck up, come in. You know what I mean? I just come and do my job. Man, but no, because y'all was killing it, man. I love it. I don't know what it is. I get so hyped, man. I get crazy hype. But I love to see the brothers doing something together, man. Y'all was doing y'all walk, man. I was like, these Negroes are killing it. I love it, man. Because we come from a demonstrative, charismatic church, so we doing everything and everything in the house, man. You know what I mean? But, oh yeah, man. So I just love it. So did you guys, like, when you was growing up, did you guys like dance when you were growing up? Like, did your mom and them knew that you were going to be a dancer?
My mom said dancing can't put food on the table. So that's my mother, yes. And so my mom knew I loved dancing because, we had the basement parties in New York. I was born in Brooklyn. So like all the Caribbean basement parties, that's where I learned and connected to dance because I'd see my family like dancing, everything. And so that's how I learned. And after church on Sundays, my mother would come like, why is Mekeda out of her church dress? Because my cousin was teaching me how to whine at like 6 years old. Like, my mom had me taking classes like every Saturday, like once a week. That's what she could afford. It was once a week. And all the teachers would always say like, we want her in production. Like they see potential for me to do more. But my mom, just like being a single parent, she couldn't afford to do that. Mm-hmm. So it was more so just extracurricular. So I took dance classes like on the weekend in high school when I was the captain of step team. Then I kind of slowed down on dance and stopped. And then in college, I auditioned for our dance team that did the basketball and football games. And then that was really, which that kind of dance is not really like what I do now. Because most people can say, are you the cheerleaders? I'm like, no, we're not the cheerleaders. So I had to break that level of movement when 4 years after that, at the age of 26, I now decide that I'm going to leave after working in corporate for 4 years, I'm going to leave that and then go straight into professional dancing.
How did you tell mom that? I want you to answer that question too, Ed. But how did you tell your mom that? Because you can't tell black mama anything. You got you got to leave breadcrumbs. You know what I mean?
I know.
The many long hours, weeks of prayer.
I can visualize the times because my mom's in Florida, so I can visualize the times that I went to Florida and we had the uncomfortable conversations. And I'm really close to my mom, so it's one of those things like when we disagree, it feels like it's the end of the world, But then I had some best friends that were just like, Mekeda, look, like you're gonna be fine. If it doesn't work out, you still have your degree, and you have to make your mom's gonna be uncomfortable, but you have to make her a little bit uncomfortable. And so there was a point in time where I basically told my mom, I said, Mom, either you're gonna be a part of this, or I'm just not really gonna share much. And I think her not knowing much, she kind of
like crazy.
And then eventually questions like, oh, so what's a callback, or what does this mean? And then it was kind of like inching, and then eventually when she started to see just like different jobs after that, like now it's like I forget actually.
Now that's cool. Okay, yeah.
Did you see my baby? She was in the Beyonce video. She
oh, my friends send me videos of you and Eddie on TikTok. You guys are
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, y'all killed TikTok. Y'all are,
That's awesome.
Lord have mercy. Y'all killed TikTok, man. It's crazy, man. It's kind of unfair. It really is. It's kind of unfair. Y'all. I want to say Ed, you had the young man from I don't look his name up. Jesus, from the Netflix series.
Which one?
The Netflix series. Young boy. Tia Mowry is on there.
Oh, Isaiah.
Isaiah.
Oh, that's his name. I'm so sorry. That's so tacky for me not to know his name. But anyway, like I don't own it. But anyway, I seen you get that guy. Him and his mom are always dancing. I checked them out too.
Yes,
always dancing. Now, how did you guys connect?
Yeah. Wow. I actually met his mom years ago. Brittany Hey Russell. I met her years ago. About 6 years ago when I was on So You Think You Could Dance, and she was actually interviewing people. And so she was interviewing me one time, and I'm like, dang, she's super cool. I remember I did this performance, and I had like this Frankenstein situation going on. And afterwards, Black woman too. So she's like, well, like, how was it being a male and the Black father and figuring stuff like that. So like we connected and talked. And from there, I didn't get a chance to really see her again until I moved. And when I moved, I'm like, hey, like, Brittany, like, what's up? Like, I moved out here, so I need some like details on like with agencies. Like, what do I do? I'm here, but I don't know like how to move around here. And so went out to Starbucks. We met again just because like I brought my notepad and she was just giving me details on who I should reach out to, what other Black males that I can start reaching out to as well too, just to get information on how to move and just being in this industry. And so from there we became really close. By then Isaiah was really he was really little by then. Yeah. Still cool. I think I didn't meet him until maybe the third or fourth time. Myself.
Wow.
So wait, no. I think when we were at Home Goods and we bumped into them, wasn't that the first?
I think that was the first time.
So I met Brittany before. We met her on two different paths, but then the first time we met her together
was at Home. Wow.
We were at Home Goods for Christmas, and we had just moved in together.
Yeah, and I think
which is crazy because we were only a few months into dating, and we're like, oh, we're gonna live together. And we bumped into her like on the other side of town, randomly, just like when Isaiah were walking out, we were walking in or something.
And that was the time that I got a chance to meet Isaiah. And we just became, cool. He looked at me like, got him like little bro. And I went over there a couple of times just for like acting purposes and to get like some help from Brittany. And Isaiah and I would just crack jokes and just kind of kick it, just a really nice.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
TikTok kind of popped off. It's like it just worked out. I'm like, dang, he's a little now? Like, you know, we can crack a little bit more jokes. Oh, now he likes dancing. Oh, shoot, like let's.
He loves
And
dancing.
it worked out, and he didn't have to start dancing. His mom didn't push it on him, but
Yeah.
chose to
He's
want to
such
do
a
that,
good dancer.
and so it's cool.
Yeah, he is.
Now that's something that we can do. So yeah, that's pretty much our relationship.
Yeah, because you guys even favor a little bit, man. I was looking at him, I was like, man, so how did you guys connect? But because my wife and I, me and sister, we watch so much. We love the entertainment, the whole gambit. But yeah, my it's so funny how you move out. You people go out to LA on faith. My cousin did. She's in the business. Her name is Crystal Brown. She's in a slew of things out there too. And I just wonder, like, how did you when you first went out there? How did you? I know you said, Eddie, like you was looking for connections, but Kiva, how did you manage? And like what was your life strength? Because I know your mom just letting you know, you just couldn't go out there by yourself. They ain't gonna float.
So my story, so I was working for Caterpillar in like marketing and engineering, like a blended role. And I had to live after I graduated from Georgia Tech, I lived in Peoria, Illinois, super small town. That's where Richard Pryor's from. I lived there 2.5 years. And prior to that, when I was in college, I said, God, I either want to stay in Atlanta, give me another major city. And God was like, I'm going to give you the random city. So Peoria was the random city, and that was my only option when I graduated. So went to Peoria. I did this program, and it was for 2.5 years. And basically, you can get assigned any place in the U.S. because it's based on business needs. So I had multiple options. I could have been in Seattle, still in Peoria, Kentucky, Indianapolis, and then LA. But HR at the time decided that they wanted to now start interviewing versus normally what they were doing is like whoever's next just goes to the next city. So HR decides now you have to interview. So now on top of that, I'm like, LA is not going to open up because there's a husband and a wife that they have to find 2 new jobs for versus just one person in order for that spot to open up. Well, lo and behold, LA opened up. Lo and behold, interview against someone who was twice my age, who had more experience at the company, but also the person that came after me that I was training. And then I was 23, he was like 46, I'm not sure. God's grace, I got the job. So that is what brought me to LA.
Jesus.
And then from there, my friend that I've known like for a really long time since high school, he's a professional dancer. His name is Antoine Collier. And I connected with him just because I was just like, oh, I just want to start like taking some classes. And so I used to drive from Orange County to LA every week on a Friday just to take one class, which was just like a grooves class where you do like 90s old school moves, which is like everything I connect with.
Wow.
Eventually a position opened up there at the studio. One of the girls there was just like, one of the managers, she was just like, I noticed you come here every week all the time. Like, would you be interested in work study? And this was at Debbie Reynolds Dance Studio.
Wow.
Every hour you work you get free training. So I took a shift every Thursday, and then for a year, I was basically managing dance and Caterpillar. And then after that year was up, I said, you know what, God, I'm going to quit. I think this is it. And then 3 weeks later, Caterpillar had their biggest layoff in years. And I basically it to my boss to lay me off. So by God's grace, I had a financial window to help me like financially be able to live in LA and train and make up for all the years that I didn't really get to train. And then I want to say after about 2 or 3 years transitioning into the career is when I kind of like had my first big break, which was like I toured with Chrisette Michelle.
Really? Okay.
Wow.
Big one, but like one of the stepping stones.
Wow. One of the many stepping stones you guys had. But, so Neptune, tell me, how did you get on? So you think you can dance? How did you get on there?
Wow, that was really interesting stage. I was living in Dallas. Yeah, I know, taking me back because I was literally just working a 9 to 5 job. I had quit dancing at the time. I was, 25, uh, 31 now, so it was a couple years ago. At the time, I
Showing off. 31.
He
Come on,
ain't got
man.
those years.
You're getting on my nerves, man. I'm fat and mad. Come on now. Come on.
yeah, so I was working a regular 9 to 5 warehouse job. I was OSHA certified, so I was driving forklifts, stand up, sit down, you name it. I could drive with my eyes closed, backwards, sideways, whatever. So I was working at this job, and I remember years prior to that, I auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance when I lived back home in the Bay Area. I lived in Richmond, California. I auditioned in Oakland, and I made it to top 50 and got eliminated. So top 50 is like at the time was the Green Mile. So if you get the top 50 at the Green Mile walking, they eliminate to get to the 25. I was eliminated right before the Green Mile, and I was, really devastated and hard on myself about it. I remember being on stage, and it was this contemporary dance, and I knew it. I had my partner, we were doing our thing, breezing past everything that I've never done before, but I was having a good time. And I remember when the lights came on and the cameras came on, you seen those little red beam lights. Instantly, I was in headlights. I was like, oh, what's the first 8 count? I just forgot. The whole dance, I was swirling around trying to figure out the step and trying to catch it. And I'm like, looking at other people like, what is the step? And it's all on camera, and so
Oh wow.
I'm cool off this. So fast forward 25, I'm like, I'm gonna just work a regular job and battle whatever. So,
You're like, I'm not doing that again.
He like, hey, hello, Kmart. Yeah.
I was like, I'm walking out to the streets with it, whatever. And so, I went out. Fast forward, 24, 25. I'm working my 9 to 5, driving a forklift, making my little money. I had my own place, car. Cool, I was doing well. But then the audition came up again for So You Think. And I remember going out to audition with some friends in New Orleans. We drove out there. This is my second time auditioning. We drove out there. At first I was like, no, I don't want to go. But my battle homies was like, hey, let's go. And I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. Like, I'm gonna go. And so we went out there. At the time, I forgot who was on the panel, but I remember Wayne Brady was on the panel. I'll never forget that he was on the panel. And I got a standing ovation because of my audition. You go through many auditions. You go through the little private one in the little room. There's like 100 and something people, and then you go to the second one on stage, and then you make it to the third round. Then you get put on TV. So I made it on the third round, and I had my own music and stuff like that. The other 2 rounds, they pick songs for you. Just got to kill it, whatever it may be. You make it Justin Bieber to, I don't know, just something random, and you just have to do it. It doesn't matter. You make it Broadway, you still got to do your style to it. And so, got on stage, standing ovation. I never forget this. Nigel was like, hey, yeah, that was great, but didn't we see you a year ago? I remember watching you and just was like, great dancer, but I think I want to put you. And I was like, oh my God, like he's about to play me right now. That's what I got a standing ovation. So why am I not all the way through?
To get your ticket.
Yeah, so I was like, why they not give me my ticket? And I was only one out of few people that got a standing ovation in New Orleans audition. So I was like, okay, cool. He's trying to play games. And then so the choreography, once we went over the choreography, it was contemporary. And I was like, ooh, that's why, because he knew what the choreography was going to be. And he got me kicked out the last time. But I was still kind of puzzled, how he remembered. But I was like, that's a great impression that he remembered. So, okay, cool. Didn't make it. There was a third audition that came up, and I was like, you know what? I am not trying to do this again. Done this whole So You Think thing. And I remember telling my mom, and my mom was like, no, you should go. And I was like, okay. I mean, if you think I should go, I'm gonna go. And she was like, no, I think you should go. So I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna just see what's gonna happen. And so I went to the audition in Dallas. shoot, right after that, I got a ticket right away because they changed the format. This time they changed the format to team stage versus team street. So if you're a professional street dancer, you'll be put on that team. If you're a professional like trained dancer, then you'll be put on that team. So it's two separate teams. This is the only season that they did that.
Did you know that before you went to that?
Yeah, I knew that, but I still was kind of like, you know, nah, I don't know.
Again.
And so once I, you know, got my ticket to go straight to Vegas, then that's when it was like, okay, now it's game time. Like I need to, you know, really be on my P's and Q's. Mind you, I was still working at my job. And I was just, you know, I work in inventory too. So that's a very like tedious part of the house. And yeah, like I got, you know, and you get paid one of the highest too in inventory because you got to do multiple things, find lost products, all kinds of stuff. So my supervisor knew how valuable I was, and I told him, I said, hey, I got this opportunity, so you need to dance. And they were okay for me to go and still keep my job if it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, cool. At least if it doesn't work this time, then I can still
have something to come back to.
Yeah.
And I communicated with him, talked with him. Like they gave me a going away party at the job, everything. So it was great. And yeah, when I got to So You Think for the Vegas week, I made it all the way through. You know, from Broadway to contemporary.
Wow.
Yeah, it just worked out this time, and that's when I just knew like this time was meant for me. By the time I got there, I just knew for sure that God was showing me this is your time. And the other times were just trial and tribulation just to prepare you for the moment. Because there's other things that I didn't have under my belt as a freestyle dancer and as a performer that I did have once I got pushed all the way through, you know, the show.
Wow, man, that's beautiful, man. I'm glad people are able to hear the maturation of what you had to go through. You know what I mean? You know, you had to go through it physically, you know what I mean? You had to go through it spiritually. You also had to go through physically, but you emotionally, where you had to like compartmentalize that thing and be like, you know what? When I see them little red eyes come on in the camera again, I ain't gonna breathe.
I'm gonna remember.
I don't remember. Dancing is what I know, Lord. No, but it's all right. No, it's good though, man. No, I'm serious. That's good. I love to hear the brothers talk about that. Yeah, I'm real pro black, man. You know, so you know, people are like, yeah, he always say black. Oh, yeah, well, I'm black. But anyway.
I was grateful to be, you know, one of the few black people to be on the show, you know, because, you know, and it's great to have a show like that that's so cultural diverse.
Yeah,
it is.
Black people on that show. And so it was even it was like 3 of us.
Right.
And, you know, I was just grateful to be one of the, you know, other male, you know, black males on that show, just to represent, you know, who we are and the styles that, you know, we learned and are doing on the show, because most of the styles that I was doing, you know, is African American based. And so I was grateful to be able to represent that, especially like Crump, you know, Side Eyes and Miho, two black men, you know, and for me to be a student of that style and to promote that on that show just meant a lot for the culture and meant a lot for black men.
Oh yeah, most definitely, bro. No doubt about it. We just really are proud of you two, and I really do thank God for you guys. I think that you guys are like excellent representation. You know what I mean? Like you just, I mean, you're just really cool. You know, laid back and ain't over the top stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. I'm like, you're judgmental. I'm like, no, I'm just like, dog. I mean, it's just good to have some good representation, because sometimes you're like, come on, man. Everything just don't go. Everything just don't flow, you know. But anyway, no, we do appreciate you guys. And I just want to, well, can I share something with you guys really fast? You mind?
Yeah, no.
They get scared when black folks be like, oh Lord, here they go with that profit sign. No, but seriously, no, you know, I do flow prophetically. I really, you know, do it in church and everything. I do have a pastoral call, not call, but I am an ordained pastor. by my bishop. But I just want to let you know, you guys, sometimes like when we're about to get married or something, sometimes we may feel a certain way. Not that we don't love each other, but sometimes it's like, oh, is this right? Is that right? Does everything line up? I want to be the cracker to his cheese. We got all these sayings and metaphors we put together in order just to say okay, and it's like, well, it's the destination, right? But I just want to share this with you. I mean, all things are subject to God. You get what I'm saying? So it's not. I'm just sharing what I think that God is putting on my heart for you too. And the word is real simple. Go ahead and get married. God has some children He wants you to have, and that's it. it's really that simple. Like, all right, yeah, I'll do all of I'll do the shaking and the quaking. I do say thus saith the Lord, but it is thus saith the Lord moment. Seriously, but God just said, then go ahead and get married. Because sometimes we. Like, I don't know, this, that, the others come up. Oh my God, we need $5,000 more or something. Yeah. Nope. just like He did it for you in dance, He's going to do it for you in marriage. He's going to help you. You're going to turn to Him financially. You're going to turn to Him with the kids. The first time you're going to have to drop the kids off at the daycare, and you're going to have to trust Him because you're going to look at the person who you're going to leave them with, and you're going to be like, that lady crazy, and you're going to think in your mind. I mean, take it from me. I literally cried when I left my daughter with the daycare, and we had known her for like 8 years, but it didn't matter. I was like, she's not gonna know how to take care of my baby, and I literally cried outside her house like a baby. But I mean, literally, like people walking by, like, why that big Negro crying? Like, because that's the trust that we have to put in God. That it's like things that. We have no we have no control over. We just have to trust God. When our kids, as a black man, we have 2 sons and a daughter. When our sons leave the house, we have to believe God that they're coming home. You know what I mean? Because no matter what you tell them, stuff goes down. You get what I'm saying? And like, why didn't you turn left instead of turning right? Why didn't you do this and do that? It's like, yo, God, I trust you. I trust you, and that's how it's gotta be. Sometime, in marriage. And the things that we may need, but just go ahead and get married. I got some kids for you guys to have, so don't mean to be so black about it, but that's how it came to me.
I'm actually going to ask you something too, or both of y'all can elaborate on this as well. Sure. Being engaged and our wedding, being next year and planning that out, what advice can you give? Because people see the glitz and glamour. People see people see our highs, but people don't see like the challenges in between in order for us to get to that destination. So like my question to y'all would be like, as a couple and as believers as well too, what advice can you give to us as a couple and individually, because this coming from a perspective of a woman and coming from a perspective of a man as well too, along the process of from now until that day we walk down the aisle? Because right now, it can be a bit overwhelming because this is just so new, and something I feel like we have to do and trying to balance like work at the same time and still trying to balance like working out our own insecurities and things that are going on within ourselves, but still working together. You know what I mean? So, like, what advice can you both give?
Go ahead, baby. Go first.
You go first.
She gonna tell me to go first. And when she tell you to go first, you go first. What you say, babe? Who's on top? No, I'm playing. But I'm not gonna say it. I'm joking. And that's why I get the emails. I say too much. No, but seriously, as a man, in all sincerity, whatever God is leading you to do, you do it. Remember that your wife is your friend, your best friend. So therefore, mix your money, trust her. I mean, because remember, if you're laying on the bed dying, no ground devil in Jesus' name. But remember, a lot of people put more trust in their money than they do in someone even having like control, autonomy over their life, whether they're going to pull the plug on you or not. And when you really think of it, you go like, well, I'm hiding money, but she has the power to take my life and power and operation. I'm saying, I mean, that's how I look at things. Basically, trust your wife. Know that she's your best friend. Know that when you guys grow, just like grow as friends. Always grow as friends. Always put God first. And God is not somebody who's going to come between you and say, "Oh, one day you over here and you do this without her," and try to pull you guys apart. He's not like that. God wants you to grow closer together. So my advice to you would just be become closer to your wife or your fiance. Listen to her, because the big thing is, like, look at the word that came to you guys, right? Now watch this. The word was, go ahead and get married. It's gonna be all right. And God got some kids for you, right?
Yeah.
And you're just like, man, there's some things coming up. It doesn't. That's the whole. Now I understand. Now I understand the word, because God is really wants you guys to get married. Don't let that stuff, like the ego and all that. I'm not saying that you haughty or anything, but I'm talking about the little stuff that may get in the way. Like, but what about this? But what about that? Those things will always come up.
Yeah.
To this day, I still have, after 28 years and going together we went together like 7 years before we got married. After all of that, we've been together for a long time. I still have shortcomings. My wife still gives me advice. I'm still missing the mark at times, especially in the dark. But it doesn't.
I'm not doing it.
I gotta say my zingers. They're so important. They're for my ego. Oh God! Thank you, Lord. But the whole thing is just that I have to believe that the woman that He gave me is for me. She's solely for me. Like, I don't, like, when I leave the mall, I don't go and stick my key in any car. I know what car I'm going to. Like, it doesn't matter, because that's the car I chose. That's who I chose. This is who I'm going to be with. Because sometimes men, we want to go, well, oh my God, it's always going to be somebody cute. It's always going to be somebody with a nice shape. It's always going to be somebody who's going to laugh and touch you when they laugh. Oh, you're so funny, and all that other little phony stuff that people like to do. Yeah, they even do it to fat guys. It doesn't matter. But the whole thing is that that Kiba got your back.
Yeah.
You know that Kiba got your back. You know that she's the one. Yes. So the big thing is, don't play with it, because it will. I'm not saying that you're playing. I'm just speaking in general, because stuff like that backfires. It always backfires. You know what I mean? It's like, either I'm going to do this thing or I'm not. You know what I mean? Well, I'm waiting for the perfect destination. I'm waiting for the perfect dress, the perfect ring. Dog, get married. Get married, and that would be it. Become friends. If you ain't friends, become friends. Even more friends. Mix your money. Mix your money.
Even if you have to give one another an allowance out of the money.
But mix your money. Boy, you make that money, you find out where you at.
I was going to say, know that you guys are a team.
Yeah.
It's you guys against the world. Even when you're arguing, and you might say, well, I'm right and he's wrong, or I'm right and she's wrong. But know that because you're a team, you can't win separately. You only can win together.
Yeah.
Even in an argument, you only can win together.
Mm-hmm. So
somebody has to forgive. Someone has to be the first to forgive, because nobody wants to be in a relationship. See, again, in a relationship, somebody has to forgive. Well, you both eventually will have to forgive, but somebody has to make the first move. And if you remember that you're a team and you're on the same side, that makes it a little easier, a lot easier. So remember, you're a team.
Thank you, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man. Hope it help, bro. Mix that money.
Why do you keep talking about mixing
that money? No, because sometimes it is hard. It's hard sometimes to relinquish,
Yes, because you are used to being independent. You have your money, he has his money. So
but it's all good. But we thank you guys. I thank you guys for being so gracious and so kind. Y'all guys are really sweet. I mean, what I mean? Y'all,
if you guys were not doing what you're doing now, what would you want to do?
I don't know. I feel like I'm on my. I'm walking wherever God takes me. Like once I started to enter through dance, it
Mhm.
really just opened my mind. I've always been a planner. I'm a Virgo. I'm an engineer, math and science. Like I've always planned. And once I entered this life of being a dancer and just freeing myself, I'm almost like too free with everything. But there's so many different avenues that
Just good.
been showing me, like in different ways on this journey, that
Yes.
I'm just open to. I know there's going to be a space where I can give back to younger women, where I can help other people navigate from career switch from one career to another, regardless of in the arts or not in the arts.
Right.
Motivating people. I know that somewhere within management, like there's a couple of different things I see myself fitting in, and so in acting as well. And I'm just excited to see how it all blends and when it happens, how. But I'm kind of just going on the journey of where God like takes me.
So, what's your dream job, Neptune?
Oh,
Or dream profession?
dream profession. Ooh, that's
if it's not dance, you know, if it's something other than dance, but it can be dance, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think because things have switched so many times, because I like to do so many different things and I'm good at so many different things.
Yeah.
Definitely is the next thing for me. That's a really, really, really huge goal and next step. But before that, if I wasn't dancing, I was playing football. That's what in school.
Wow.
I was supposed to like I was supposed to go to like they have like a high school Hawaii football league that they like invite all the kids from the high schools to go to Hawaii to play football and stuff like that. I was invited when I was in high school, and I used to go to Silver Hills High School. Shout out to everybody that used to go there.
Oh my gosh.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, so see, that's why I said acting is my thing. So yeah, so when I was in school, funny thing is my coaches used to get mad at me because I used to dance whenever, like, you know, I make a touchdown and stuff like that. I played corner, receiver, and running back.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was the punter as well too, because I got a foot on me. So like they, you know, put me in that position. So yeah, I used to get in trouble. I used to get like flags from like celebrations stuff at the end, you know. And I realized my coach used to call me Dancing Eddie. Dancing Eddie.
Okay.
Bro, I'm playing football. I'm not dancing, bro. Like, you know, so like I knew it was meant for me to do this because it's
wow.
And prophetically said over my life for quite some time. But if it wasn't for dance, I'll probably at the time, you know, when I was a little bit in high school, football was going to be the next thing. Now when I'm in fitness, I'm having my first Miss Physique bodybuilding competition I'm competing in next month, July 10th.
Wow.
Preparing for that for like 12 weeks now. Not 12 weeks, I'm sorry. I'm preparing for 8 weeks and I have 4 weeks left. And so that's the next thing into. So if it's not for dance, definitely fitness is the next thing.
Cool.
Wow. You guys are amazing. I really, you know, really do love you guys. I just think that you guys are just, you know,
awesome.
You seriously, you guys are at the top of the list.
Is there anybody that you really, really want to work with whom you have not worked with as of yet?
Rihanna for me. If
Rihanna.
If I could go out of dance with a bang, Rihanna would be my.
Oh yeah, the Caribbean. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because she's Caribbean.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would have to say,
or an actor acting something in acting.
Ooh, something with acting.
Yes.
I because I met this person and I had a really good conversation with this person. So not only respect them in acting, but also too just as a human being is Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. Okay. Okay.
Don Cheadle.
Best friend.
Cheadle go crunch, baby. That's
Tony Stark's best friend.
Oh man, yeah.
The original.
Yeah, Don. He used to be in the House of Cards. Wasn't he in the House of Cards? He used to be on the House of Cards on Showtime.
No, I don't think it was.
Was that him?
He was on a show.
A show on Showtime.
But I don't think it
like
was
that.
House of Cards.
No, it wasn't.
I don't know if he was on House of Cards, but I do know whenever I was working with him recently, just what kind of person that he is, and also too what kind of actor he is as well too. Very well. Like I like the way he worked, and I just like and admire what kind of man he is as well. So the conversations that we had really put things in perspective for me. And the advice that he gave me as well too, and the fact that he support people like myself that started off someplace, within the arts of dance, and we're working our transition to into acting as well. I think he was messing around. Was like, yeah, I used to dance a little bit. He
did. Wow.
Talk about that. And it was cool to hear how he transitioned over and did his thing as well. So it was just so relatable. And for me, after he did, give me some advice and say, hey, man, I can't wait to see you out here in this industry, that really gave me a lot to think about and to understand. Like you don't get a lot of people that are in these positions that would tell you that would say that, would go off to the side, do their own thing, or clock in and clock out on the job, and then that's it. They're not really trying to compensate and, to give you some tips and just be a human being because they understand they were in your shoes at some point.
Wow, that's something, man. Y'all work with everybody, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. But you guys, you're gonna be all right, man. You really are. I mean, I just think that, I just believe God for you guys, and we definitely gonna be praying for you guys. We thank you for giving us a second chance coming on here, because the radio station.
For giving us part of the Friday evening.
I know. I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have. Young people.
I'm still not feeling well, but it worked out. Like I was like, no, we're gonna do this today. Like,
Kay, for real, I'm sorry, Lord, be healed in Jesus' name. Oh,
the pollen in DC did a number on me.
Allergies, yeah.
Now I'm like, these steroids gotta go. So I'm good. We're on the trail way out, but this is intentional, and thank you guys so much.
Amen. No, thank you. We appreciate you guys. Look, know that we're watching you, and that we're praying for you guys, and please post when you get married. I got to see you guys in your tux.
A lot of stuff. Yeah. And we're getting into our YouTube. We have our camera ready so that we can have these kinds of conversations on camera and go live there, answer questions there, and then also just like show videos like from our vacation we just went on with my family and our family. So that's kind of like our next ventures for everybody to transfer over to YouTube. We're just kind of managing everything for now because everything's getting
Amen.
But we're gonna share different pieces that we're comfortable, of course, sharing when it comes to like our wedding and the stages leading up to it. Wow,
that's beautiful. I cannot wait to see it, man. If you guys come to Philly, we got to connect. So don't get new when y'all come now. Who is it?
Praise the what? Praise the what?
Hey, as long as you do whatever you eat.
Hey, bro, I get down, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I'm about to lose some of this. I gotta lose like 60 pounds, man. I really do. I'm 6'4", man, but I'm like 280 pounds, man. So I gotta lose like 60, like at least about 50.
Yeah. That cardio, water, diet, boom, you'll be in there.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Yeah, I got. I'm 54 now. I turned 54 2 days ago, man. So it's
Yeah, happy belated birthday.
Thanks, bro. Thanks, young lady. Yeah. So we just trying to, get it back. So I can snap back. So I can be the next Idris, baby. But anyway.
Okay.
I watch some of these bodybuilders and these competitions and stuff like that, and they have a class called Masters, and you have people that are in their late 40s, early 50s, late 50s, still competing, and they look incredible. You know, they put in work and this dedication.
Yeah.
Even people that started later, like
started
when they were in their 50s, they just got motivated because they started to work out. And next thing you know, they were like, "Hey, I mean, I'm looking good. Why not compete?" And that's what happens. Incredible on stage.
Wow.
Hey, I'm with it, man. I just wanna be better, man. You know what I mean? Just want to be better and do what we got to do. But you guys gonna make it. Remember, friendship is first. I don't care what anybody say, man.
Teamwork make the dream work.
First, dog. All that other stuff. You know, you my Nubian queen. No, do I like you? Can I get along with you? Can we watch a movie together? Yeah. When your breath stink, can I still say, "Give me a kiss"? That's the stuff that count.
Like, nah, bro, hold on.
You crossed the line, brother D.
Stop sign.
Cross the line.
Anyway, make them kiss you, Kaba. Make them kiss you.
Guys, have a great weekend.
Right.
Happy Juneteenth.
Juneteenth, baby. Keep it alive.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Much love. See you guys.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, let me.